Of course, the key to Baylor basketball's long-term success. Flo Thamba and Dale Bonner. This is Locked On Baylor.
You are Locked On Baylor, your daily podcast on the Baylor Bears, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I'm Drake Toll, that's Brandon McKinnon, and none of this makes any sense anymore. Welcome to Locked On Baylor. Happy Monday, everybody. Thank you for making this show your first listen every single day. Brandon, number one, the sport of baseball does not exist. It is a figment of all of our imaginations. It has never existed, and we will never talk about it. Number two, congratulations to the men of ATO. Hey, for winning Sing.
There we go.
For the first time ever, ATO has won Sing alongside Kaio. And Brandon, and as if things couldn't get crazier, just weird. As we all predicted, Dale Bonner is Baylor basketball savior. Keyonte George getting hurt led to the largest comeback thus far this season, and Flo Thamba is him.
Yeah, so I've spent many an hour at an ATO Sing practice, so I also am celebrating this. However, I'm not sure if my alumni status is legit, so no boosters or anything. Check my name.
You're not alone in that category there, Brandon. You're not
a lot of us. And then if we're just doing a bit of housekeeping for our loyal listeners out there, I jokingly said the key to our success was more Dale Bonner minutes on Friday's show.
You did say that. You actually said that on the show.
And lo and behold, maybe I am some sort of future seer without trying to be that. I don't believe in that. But Dale Bonner answered the call and just, absolutely held it all together. When Keyonte went down with the rolled ankle and we were down by double digits 6 minutes into the game, my friends and I were talking about at what point, what threshold would the game have to be at to where we would go and watch the rest of it at Crickets and leave the stadium. And then promptly Dale Bonner took over. Flo Thamba on his birthday.
Yeah.
It goes off for a double-double. It was as unexpected of a win as I think either you or I or maybe any Baylor fan could have put together from a narrative perspective. What do you think?
Going into the game, I didn't really love Baylor's chances. So you get into the game and your best player, your future NBA draft pick, your lottery pick next year, goes down with an injury and is not coming back. It's like, okay, sweet. Well, see you guys Monday night. Hopefully you can win on the road against Oklahoma State. And I think to me, so here's the deal. I've been very critical. Right? We know this. I've been very
hand up. Here we go. Housekeeping. This is what we're looking for.
Very, very critical. So I'm going to come out and say, like, Flo Thamba had a great game. I thought he played so well. Wasn't 100%, wasn't perfect, but a really good. Like, if Flo does that, this team takes it to the next level.
Dude, if Flo does 75% of that every game.
Yeah. This team, like, that made Baylor so much better when Flo. Yeah. Thank you, Flo. And whoever has been clipping this show and playing it for Flo, thank you.
Maybe you don't
listening.
need to watch your back in every alley in Waco anymore, just in case Flo happens to be there.
I've always loved Flo. I've seen Flo at social gatherings and events before, and we've always been fine. Now we should be double fine, Flo, because I've been rooting for you. I just have been critical of the way you play, and then you played a great game. So, Flo, you're listening to this now, waiting for me to find some kind of hole in what you did. Well, no, Flo, you had a great game. So you sit there and you take that. You take that and do it again tonight against Oklahoma State.
Give the man his flowers.
What I love is like when they bring him out on the court pregame, like the longest tenured player in Baylor history. And I'm just, Flo!
Exactly.
People that sit by me at the games, they know I yell Flo's name all the time. And then Dale got in. I did the same damn thing with Dale. Let's go, Dale. I'm that guy. I'm going to point out
Big Dale energy.
There's a point in the game where the lineup is Langston Love with, I think this is right after Keyonte goes out. So things
I know what you're about to talk about. Yeah, go
it's
ahead.
Langston Love, LJ Cryer, Adam Flagler, Jonathan Shama-Chachua, and Josh Ojinwuna.
Bro, yes.
And it could not have looked worse. Like catastrophically bad experiment. And then Baylor won the game.
Dude, so when that lineup came out, I think it was immediately following the injury or maybe the first media timeout after. Because I think immediately following, they were like, all right, Langston, like, go.
Yeah.
And then the first media timeout, we bring out this weird Twin Towers, like NBA global.
And you know what happened to the Twin Towers. You know what happened.
Yes.
You know how the story ends.
Oh, Drake. There's going to be people that listen to this that are conspiracy theorists, and they're like, they were never there. They were never there, Drake.
How did it end?
No.
Yeah, well, Baylor's Twin Towers were never there during that lineup.
Defense or offense. Yeah, so that was tough. So I think I don't know if Scott was like, okay, we don't have the same guard depth, so let's try and run out a true 4 and 5, a true 5 and 5. I mean,
yes,
it didn't look good. And, I mean, Texas certainly continued the run, but then it was, I think, so I looked at like the play-by-play after, because I was at the game and I haven't had a chance to like watch tape or go back and rewatch it yet, nor probably will I, because we won and I normally just rewatch losses because I'm a sicko committee. I run that Twitter for those of you out there.
Oh,
I don't really. And I looked at the play-by-play, and Texas went from the 925 mark to the 101 mark without scoring a point. That's when the game turned around. Not a single point. They were stuck on 23 that whole time. And it's like, this was the defense that we were calling for from the start of the season. This is what we knew they were capable of. And it was fun. It was good to see it happen. What's up?
Would you call that a run of death?
I think you would. And you know who else would? All the numbers guys, which you are one. They would all say the 10-0 run. If you have one of those, you're going to win the game.
I do love those. Brandon, have a ton of numbers, analytics, stats, fun facts too that I have pulled up here in front of me because I'm excited today. We're gonna hear from Scott Drew later, but first I want to get your opinion on some of these. But first, even before that, everybody, look, I'm excited today. I'm in a good mood. I'm happy this team won. Happy the softball team's doing so well. And again, baseball doesn't exist. It's not a real sport. I also, right before recording, went to Outback Steakhouse and had a whole plate of cheese fries and a Diet Coke, and it was good. It was really good. But still not as good as Built Bar. You know why? Because it's healthy. Built Bar is just healthy. Like, that's what I try to get the point across to you. Like, I have this bag of pistachios in front of me, not healthy, cholesterol high, so much sodium. I have this Fisher honey roasted peanuts in front of me. It's not healthy for you. It's honey roast. It's 170 calories in just 1 ounce. 1 ounce, 170 calories. Well, Built Bar, 100% all natural, real chocolate, only 130 calories, only 4 grams of sugar, 17 grams of protein. 17. Barely count that high. You go eat a Built Bar and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You go to Built.com, order it there. You go to Sam's Club. You go to Walmart. It's super convenient. There's a Walmart. You're going to pass by a Walmart in your car today. You might be doing so while you're listening to this podcast. Get the cookies and cream. Get the double chocolate. Go buy a Sam's card thing that you have to do to go to Sam's Club. And do it for the Built Bars. 13-bar box. Built.com, Walmart, Sam's Club. It's Built Bar. Go eat one. See how it is and tell me if you like it, because you will. Braden, the Bears, Baylor, 10-6 in Big 12 play. Again, this team's not going to win a Big 12 championship now.
Statistically not out of it. Statistically
not out of it.
Not out of it.
Mathematically not out of it. That is true. Here's some good notes, though. I'm not going to harp on that because they're going to finish in the top 3 in the Big 12 at this point. Baylor's reached double-digit conference wins for the 8th time in the last 9 years. They've been above 500 8 of the last 9 years in wild. The toughest conference in college basketball. I think that says something for the Scott Drew can't coach people, probably. Baylor's also 13-2 in its last 15 games against Texas. They've won 6 straight at home against Texas as well. And they're 13-3 in their last 16 against top 10 opponents. I don't think we talk enough. We don't talk enough about the era of Baylor basketball we're living in right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it speaks to how dumb I am. And I'm not trying to call you dumb, but potentially how dumb you are. That on Friday's show, we were like, this team's dead. Like, we were talking about the outlook. And when the panic button comes out, and I was like, just blew past Texas. I was like, this is a loss. Like, we're done. We've had, 2 bad halves in the last 2 games. We're done. But that's not the case. Like, I think that we are in this era of Baylor basketball, to your question, where we expect to win every game. And that's not a bad thing. But I also think that that we need to taper our reaction and really trust the coaching staff. Because I think it's really easy to think in a vacuum and be like, terrible second halves. What are we doing? Coaching isn't working, and just overreacting and like dancing on the grave of the team.
Yeah.
But in reality, I think that everything you talked about from a consistency standpoint, when you look at a season start to finish in conference play, it's incredibly impressive.
Brandon, I think it was you. Was it? You're gonna have to help me if I'm wrong.
Didn't mean to call you dumb, but
that's okay. I'll take that. I think it was you that said preseason. It was the maybe it was Scotty Swingler, one of the two. You're the same person in my head. Just one's basketball, one's football. That asked, will Flo Thamba average double-digit rebounds?
That was me.
You posed that question.
I did.
That was no, me. Brandon, no.
That was me. I think we actually were playing like the overreaction or not overreaction game, and I was like, Flo Thamba is back with a vengeance, and he's going to average double-digit rebounds in conference play.
What if I told you Flo Thamba has played, let's carry the 1 million games for Baylor? Yeah, he's played a ton of games. This was his second career double-double.
We're not talking bad about him right now, bro.
Second career double-double. Congratulations to Flo on his birthday. His first career double-double came against Texas last season. He had to wait all the way till last year to get a double-double. But this is what that segues into this. Baylor here's Brandon. This is bad and good.
Okay.
Baylor is 7-0 when Flo Thamba has double-digit rebounds. So let's pick this apart. Number one.
Okay.
That means Flo Thamba has only ever gotten double-digit rebounds 7 times in a record amount of games played for this university.
I also question how many basketballs are going to give this guy with the weird spray paint art, but go ahead.
But every time he's done it, the Bears have won. So if he was averaging that, like we asked if he could preseason, gosh, this team would be undefeated.
Yeah.
So we talk a lot, Brandon, about who is the catalyst for success for this team.
It's Flo Thamba.
And I think it might be Flo Thamba.
See, so you just backed your way into saying something nice about Flo Thamba, which I very much appreciate today.
If Flo Thamba, you said it, if he plays 75% of what he did Saturday, this team's insane.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and he was so dominant on both sides. We've talked, the one consistently good thing we've said and given him his flowers and his praise is that he's shooting from the free throw line incredibly efficiently. Well. And so it's like if he's aggressive and just goes to the rim, he's going to get fouled and he's going to knock down 3 out of every 4 free throws, maybe 4 out of every 4. If you extrapolate that. So I don't know. I was super pumped, super impressed, but I mean, just I'm all over the place today, this fine Monday. So I apologize to the fans, but I was even more impressed defensively with Jalen Bridges. 4 blocks. I mean, guy was all over the place.
Season high 4 blocks for Jalen Bridges. 16th time this season where he scored in double figures. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's been hooping.
16 times in double figures for him. Dale Bonner, double figures for the first time since that Northwestern State game in December. 13 is just one shy of his season high. He had 14 of the opener. He was our guy from the beginning. We haven't talked about him enough today because I've given a lot of praise to Flo Thamba, but Dale Bonner's defense, like I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say that like Keyonte George's injury, it doesn't make this team better. That would be stupid to say. Does it change the way this team plays? For sure.
I'm glad you're going here because this is one thing I want to talk about.
It's a lot more team-oriented basketball. There's a lot less ISO, and it's very okay. We need to limit our mistakes to a T because without this superstar player, we have to be a unit. Otherwise, we're not very good.
Bro, the ball movement is so different. So different. And I think to your point, no one in their right mind would say that Baylor men's basketball has a higher ceiling without Keyonte George on the floor. Right. No one would say that. Because in the tournament, the people with the best player or handful of players, those teams usually win. And you're going to need a player to go get you 12 points in 15 minutes, and Keyonte can do that. However, everything you said is true. The ball movement was different. I don't know if like a switch flips in Cryer and Flagler's head to where they don't need to go ISO because they're like, oh, I know I'm going to get the ball soon again anyway. Everything was just more open. Like, so I was watching when during the game, I was like, how is this going to affect? I was just thinking like, how is Keontae's injury going to affect our off ball movement? Because that's something we talked about Friday of something that we'll need to do really well to beat this Texas team. And people were like, shocker. cutting. I was rattled. They were instead of standing at the 3-point line, they were like running to the paint and people were going with them and passes were popping. It was unbelievable. And I don't think that speaks. I'm not trying to highlight and articulate Keyonte being out is good. What I am trying to highlight and articulate is Dale Bonner stepping into that moment, Langston Love stepping into that moment as two guys who had saw increased minutes as a direct result of his injury played very selfless basketball that actually turned out to be very rewarding. So when the rock is flying around the court, you're going to get open looks.
Dale took his moment. Here's the deal. We've said this off the air. I'll say it on the air. I don't see Dale Bonner in a Baylor jersey. A week ago, I wouldn't see Dale Bonner in a Baylor jersey next season. He's filtered out of the rotation, and it's just a tough situation. I mean, he just, that's basically say, hey, it's not really working out. Like the style of play is not there. And he stepped up and immediately took it in stride. I almost wanted him to get to the podium post game, be like, I'm out. Dale Bonner.
I don't think you or I actually want him to leave. I think that we just see a real path because we see the talent that he possesses that we saw yesterday.
He's a starter almost anywhere else in America. Literally America. He's a starter almost anywhere else.
Exactly.
And he deserves to play somewhere, even if that's not the play style of Baylor. But he showed 14th game with multiple steals. He just plays hard basketball. Brandon, I know you have a game night to get to. So
I can keep talking hoops. They're not here yet. Let's go.
So this is all, and a ton of credit to Matt Roberts too. He does this every game, puts together kind of the list of career highs and who did what. And so I've kind of gone down the list and picked up some of my favorites. Those were my favorites, the Flo Thambas, the Dale Bonners. But my honorable mention for favorite is at the very, 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 very bottom. The last one, Caleb Lohner. Played in his 90th consecutive game. Yay.
Bro, leave Caleb and Flo alone, bro. We just had a top 10 win at home, and you can't help but come for the throat. It's ridiculous.
Sweet. He played his 90th consecutive game. Yay! Whoa.
Also, not player related, but you mentioned Matt Roberts does this. I don't know if there's a better AD focused on teams in the business. Matt does a great job. I mean, I know you and I being in the media side, we interact with him and he's awesome. So
he's great. We
know Matt makes Locked On Baylor's first listen every day. So Matt, we just want to say thank you for what you do.
I text Matt at 12:30 a.m. and he immediately responds Matt, I don't know how you do this, man.
Yeah.
I don't. But yes, 90th consecutive game for Caleb Lohner. If he misses 91, I'll be sad. Yeah.
He's going to play 91 consecutive because Keyonte was ruled out for Oklahoma State tonight. So we're going to see some different lineups for sure.
Yeah, Baylor's still a 1-point favorite. He didn't play great again on Saturday. Look, I've been on this Flo Thamba tour for weeks, imploring Flo Thamba to play better. Caleb, it's your turn. I'm coming. It is I who
You don't
knocks.
want that guy. You don't want that guy.
It is I who knocks, Caleb. I like him a lot too, by the way. We've had him in media before, and he's such a cool guy. He's just a good dude.
I don't know if you got a chance to listen to the interview I did with him, the 30-minute kind of sit down thing. I mean, nicest dude on the planet.
Oh, he's a golden retriever. He's a golden retriever. And then, sometimes when a golden retriever gets really excited playing fetch and they throw him the ball and he's so excited that he drops the ball.
Bro, I really do think a lot of it goes back to him being for basically 2 years of his basketball playing life at BYU was so out of position. I think he's almost having to relearn how to be a big 3 or stretch 4. I really do. Yeah. I think he's going to make huge strides next year, but neither here nor there.
I think if him and Bridges, we'll have those conversations later, but this could be
we don't need to jump into this. Yeah.
Team.
I know we want to hear from Scott, but do you want to take just a couple minutes and talk Oklahoma State? Do you have another ad?
No. Do you? What do you know? What do you think?
From an ad perspective?
I don't know. What do you think about Oklahoma State?
I was trying to make sure that all your sponsors got their love, bro. Sorry. This is a dumpster fire here this fine Monday morning.
I'd love this show, by the way.
Yes. I mean, this is every time you see my Twitter handle and Locked On Baylor's tweet, just either instantly listen or don't listen. Those are your options. Dude, so we played Oklahoma State at home. We won by 20 or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? I think whatever the margin was. This is a super, super veteran team. They have a tremendous coach. And when we played them the first time, they didn't have Musa Cisse, who was their 6-man, big guy off the bench, incredible player. Stillwater is a really hard place to go in a basketball game. All the history that goes there. I think Fran's going to be on the call, so do whatever with that you will. Big Monday. We are 1-point favorites. We opened at 1.5. These are all the things I know to be true. However, I think we're going to get it done. If you remember the Oklahoma State game last year, Oklahoma State was a less talented team than they are this year, and it took an Adam Flagler heroic shot for us to win. Drake has vanished. Go ahead, Drake.
Fran.
This is why you watch on YouTube. I'm going to. Yes, Fran.
We got Fran.
We have Fran Fraschilla, bro. He's going to tell you where everybody lived, everybody's parents' high schools, how they all have ties.
Is he going to talk about seeing Jonathan Chachua break his knee?
He's probably going to pull up like the video on his phone that he took in real time.
Not again.
You know ESPN's going to show it. They have to. They're addicted to showing it.
It's Fran. He's the one addicted to it. All right. You know who's not addicted to it?
We're back.
Scott Drew. Scott, what do you think about that game, that big win against Texas?
Well, the good thing is everyone gets home early. The bad thing is I got to go to work on Oklahoma State. As far as today's game, first I want to thank the crowd. I thought they were outstanding, gave us a lot of energy, especially when we started off so poor. Second, Keyonte, I don't know how bad his ankle is or how long he'll be out, but I do know one thing, and that is coaches really appreciate and value toughness. And he had a 102 fever yesterday. I didn't think he'd play, and he gave it a go, wanted to give it a go, and there's no way he was missing it. And I know sometimes people say today's culture is a little softer than previous ones. Keontae's not that guy. So really credit him. And as far as when will he be back, it'll be soon because he's a tough kid. Second of all, it's a great sports lesson for all young people out there because you're going to be on the floor, but you're going to be on the bench. And Dale Bonner played a lot early, was out of the rotation, was an unbelievable teammate, supported his team, but kept working on his game and stayed ready. And today I couldn't be any more happy and pleased for him. And for all parents out there, only 5 can play, so your job on the bench is to be the best teammate you can and keep working until you get that opportunity. And Dale was unbelievable. And Flo, it's his birthday. I asked him if he could have a birthday on Monday and next Saturday and every other game because his double-double was really nice.
It looked like after Keyonte went out, you guys kind of dialed up the defensive intensity. Can you just talk about just the collective effort y'all had?
Well, I think our offense hurt our defense early on because we turned it over a lot. They got transition buckets, but I thought once our defense was good enough early on where we weren't down 20 until we figured things out offensively, and once we made a couple buckets, and then really clamped down. It's best defense stretch we've had for a minute, and we've had good stretches at Kansas. We had a good stretch at K-State, but we haven't played 40 minutes, and today we went 40 minutes, and again, the crowd gets a big assist for that.
What about Jalen, what he gave you, particularly off the first?
Yeah, whatever he had for pregame, we need that again. So I know the last couple games he's been struggling offensively. We tried to give him a little more rest today. Played 33 minutes instead of 35, 36, 37, and I thought he was really, really good.
Now you said Keyonte would be back soon, but is there any chance he plays Monday, or is that still to be determined?
That to be determined. Yeah. And the reason is I have no idea how bad it is. So Dave will let me know after tonight.
Scott, what does that say about your depth with Dale stepping up when Keyonte left there?
It takes a team to win, and I mean, on the ticker every night, it's Baylor, it's not names. So next man up mentality, and that's why you've got to have a team of guys that are bought in, that when it's their time, they're ready. Because a lot of times guys that aren't playing, they've checked out, and then when they get their opportunity, they're not ready.
Scott, probably one of Flo's best games since he's played here. What did you see from him?
A lot of energy. I tell you, yesterday in practice, he had a tremendous practice. Dunked on somebody, and I ain't seen that maybe since his freshman year. So, but I think he really had great juice, great passion. Really worked hard out there.
Do you feel like this is kind of a statement win for you guys today? Obviously, at one point, I think you guys were up 17 against the number 8 team in the country.
Well, I think we definitely against Kansas, first half, we looked like best team in the country too. So that's the parity in college basketball, the ebbs and flows of things. That's why it's so critical our defense gets better down this stretch so that when we don't have a game where people are making shots and things aren't going great offensively, you can survive and advance. And today we got that effort.
Kind of going along with that, it seemed like it was a really physical game. How proud are you of your guys for kind of gritting that one out?
Honestly, it's another Big 12 game. Every one of them's like this. They're all heavyweight bouts, and that's why it's the best league in the country. It's why maybe 9 teams are going to the tournament. I mean, every game's a first round, second round, third round, fourth round game.
Scott, obviously you guys want to be playing well in March. Is this the kind of game y'all need to have?
You definitely want to finish strong and finish with confidence, finish on a high note. But I'll be honest, look at Iowa State. They didn't finish strong last year, and then they were great in the Sweet 16. And so it's one game at a time with 18 to 23-year-olds. I'm a father of 3, and from minute to minute, them attitudes change. And same thing on college teams. You just hope that you can stay focused and everybody bought in. And we've had a great group all year long. There's a lot of coaches that can win with their guys, but there's not a lot of coaches that can lose with their guys, meaning they like them that much. And we got a great group. None of us like losing, but we can lose with them because they represent Baylor the right way. And they're great to be around every day.
Scott, obviously you look at the box score and see the points and stuff, but Dale, what he gave you on the defensive end, even though some of the deflections don't count as steals, but he just looked like he gave you a lot on the defensive end.
Yeah, he had a great breakfast. So his energy, though, I mean, defense is it's contagious, and you see someone playing that hard, making great plays, it encourages everyone else to. I mean, we had guys getting on the floor, Adam and LJ making tough plays. I mean, a lot of guys making tough plays.
Just a little bit. I don't guess we'll see you again until before Oklahoma State.
Oh, you can come up there if you want with us.
What do you see from them? Obviously, with Musa, they're a different team.
Yeah, the first time we played him with him out, I mean, he's the co-defensive player of the year in the Big 12, and he provides a lot of challenges in the paint. And then they're a team that, like us, we were the hottest team for a minute, and they were the hottest team for a minute. And I don't know how they did today, but I can tell you that in the Big 12, every team is an NCAA tournament team, and Coach Boynton does a great job with them, and we're playing at their place, so we have to be really sharp, really good, and we got to get rest and do what we need to prepare. But it's one of the better defenses in the Big 12, and that says a lot because we're all relative good, but if you're the best in the Big 12, that really says a lot.
That was Scott Drew. This is Drake Toll from Sports Illustrated's Inside the Bears. That's Brandon McKinnon from our Daily Bears. That's Daily Bears. Osos, como se dice daily?
Los Delos?
Yeah, that's close.
I know Samana's week, so.
Our weekly Bears. Our
daily weekly.
Sotros, Samanos, Osos. Thanks for making Locked On Baylor your first listen every single day.
Bears by 5 tonight. Bears by 5.
Come back tomorrow. We will recap this game tonight. Bears by 5. Go watch Cocaine Bear. This has been Los Coquenos Osos. Locked On. Thanks for making your first listen every single day. Baylor.